Hare Krishna, dear devotees, Dandavat pranams to all of you. Thank you very much for joining in for our Srimad Bhagavatam session. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai. So let's start with the prayers. Om Jnana Timrandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Mayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Udapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathan Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Varjana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradhayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauradushi Namaha Panchatattvaatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi प्रणमामि हरिप्रिय वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्यां नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिके कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः नमो पङ्कजनाभाय नमो पङ्कजमालिने नमो पङ्कजनेत्राय नमस्ते पंकजांग्रे पाहि पाहि महायोगीन देवदेव जगत्पते नान्यं त्वादभयं पश्ये यत्र मृत्यु परस्परम् कृष्ण कृष्ण महाबाहो भक्तानामभयङ्कराः त्वमेको दह्यमानानाम् अपवर्गोऽसि संश्रुतेः गुरवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकाय तडालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरून् दिनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यमीश्वरं हरिः ओं तत्सत् गुरवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकाय तडालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् आजानुलम्बितभुजौ कनकावदातौ सङ्कीर्तनैकपितरौ कमलायताक्षौ विश्वाम्बरौ द्विजवरौ युगधर्मपालौ वन्दे जगत्प्रियकरौ करुणावतारौ आराध्य भगवान् रजेशतनयस्तद्धाम वृन्दावनं रम्या काचित् उपासना व्रजवधू वर्गेण वा कल्पिता Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanamamalam Prema Pumarto Mahan Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhur Matamidam Tatra Dharana Para. Hare Krishna. So thank you very much, dear devotees. We are starting our Srimad Bhagavatam. Today is session number 2, and we are starting with the introduction to Srimad Bhagavatam. Let me share my screen. So let us start with our study of Srimad Bhagavatam. So initially we saw the dedication. In the dedication, Srila Prabhupada, Abhay Charanarinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada is dedicating the entire Srimad Bhagavatam to his spiritual master, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And then we read the preface, and then now we are going to start with the introduction. All right, so devotees can start reading. All right, Sridhar Prabhu, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Dandot Pranam Mataji. Hare Krishna. Introduction. The consumption of the...
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandot Pranam.
Oh, okay, 1 second. Let me check. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Yes, Prabhu, please read.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu.
Introduction. Yeah. The conception of God and the conception of absolute truth are not on the same level. The Srimad Bhagavatam hit on the target of absolute truth. The conception of the God indicates the controller, whereas the conception of the absolute truth indicates the samam bonum of the, or the ultimate source of all energies. There is no difference of opinion about the personal future of God as a controller, because a controller cannot impersonal. Of course, modern government, especially democratic government, is impersonal to some extent. But ultimately, the chief executive head in a person, and the impersonal future of government is subordinate to the personal future. So, without doubt, whenever we refer to control over others, we must admit the existence of the personal future, because there are different controllers for the different managerial position. There are many other small gods. According to the Bhagavad Gita, any controller who had some specific extraordinary power is called Vibhumat Sattva, yeah, or the controller empowered by the Lord. There are many Vibhumat Sattvas, controller of God, and very Mataji.
Vibhutimat Sattvas.
Vibhudimat Sattva, controller of God, and various specific power, but the absolute truth is one without a second. The Srimad Bhagavatam designates the absolute truth of the summoned bonus as the Param Sattvam. The author of the Srimad Bhagavatam, Sri Vasudeva, first offer his respectful obeisance unto the Param Sattvam, absolute truth. And because of Param Sattvam is the ultimate source of all energy. The Param Tattvam is the supreme person, the God or the controller of undoubtedly person, but the Param Tattvam from whom the God derived powers of control is the supreme person. The Sanskrit word stva, controller, conveys the import of God, but the supreme person is called Parameshwara or the supreme Ishwara. The supreme person of Parameshwara is the supreme conscious personality, and because he does not derive any power from any other sources, he is supremely independent. In the Vedic literature, Brahmi is described as the supreme god or the head of all gods like Indra, Chandra, and Varna. But the Srimad Bhagavatam confirms that even Brahma is not the independent as far as his power and knowledge concern. He received the knowledge in the form of Vedas from the Supreme Person who resides from within the heart of every living being. The Supreme Personality knows everything directly and indirectly individual infestival persons who is the part and parcel of the Supreme Personality may know directly and indirectly everything about their bodies or the external future. But the Supreme Personality knows everything about both his external and internal features. The word Janmesaya suggests that the source of all production, maintenance, and destruction in the same supreme conscious person. Even in our present experience, we can know that nothing is generated from the inert matter, but inert matter can be generated from living entity. For instance, by contact with the living entity, the material body develops into the working machine. Men with a poor fund of knowledge mistake bodily machinery to be living being. But the fact is that the living being is basic of the body's machine. The body machine is unless as soon as the living spark it always it away from it. Similarly, the original source of all material energy is the Supreme Person. The fact of expressed in all Vedic literature and all exponent of the spiritual science have accepted this truth. The living force is called Brahman, and one of the greatest Acharya teachers named Sripada Sankaracharya has preached that Brahman is substance, whereas the cosmic world is the category. The original source of all energies is the living force, and is logically accepted as the Supreme Person. He is therefore conscious of everything past, present, and future, and also of each and every corner of his manifestation, both material and spiritual. An imperfect living being does not even know what is happening with his own personal body. He eats food and does not know how this food is transformed into energy and how it sustains the body. When a living being is perfect, he is aware of everything that happens. And since the Supreme Person is all perfect, it is quite natural that he knows everything in all detail. Consequently, the perfect personality is addressed in the Srimad Bhagavatam as the Vasudeva, or one who lives everywhere in full consciousness and full possession of his complete energy. All is clearly explained in the Srimad Bhagavatam, and the reader has ample opportunity to study this critically. In this modern age, Hare Krishna.
Hare
Dandavat
Krishna,
pranam,
Prabhu.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Dandavat pranam. So, Satyam Param Dhimahi. That means the supreme absolute truth that we studied yesterday, 1.1.1. Janmadhyasya Yaton Vyaditratas Chartveshva Abhijna Swarad. That supreme personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna, is cognizant of not only what he wants, what he desires, but is also cognizant about everything that is happening in all of our hearts. Why? Because he is situated as Paramatma in each of our hearts. But that is only a secondary feature of the Supreme Absolute Truth. The Supreme Absolute Truth, the highest realization, is to understand Ishvara Parama Krishna, Sachidananda Vigraha, Adir Govindaha, Sarva Karana Karanam. He is the source of the material and the spiritual worlds. He is the source of the Paramatma. He is also the source of the Brahman, right? So, if you understand the controller, then you will also understand all of his energies, right? Because he is the source of all the energies. So, similarly, Prabhupada also talks about, suddenly there was a conversation between Prabhupada and his disciple, right? Prabhupada and his disciples were walking on the beach. And suddenly, there was a beautiful sunset, and Prabhupada's disciple one told Prabhupada, see there, such a beautiful sunset. And then Prabhupada told, the sunset is so beautiful. How much more beautiful should the person who created the sunset be? Right? So in this way, Prabhupada was always seeing the hand of Krishna in everything. Right? Even in Bhagavad Gita we study, Yadyad Vibhutimat Sattvam Shrimat Urjitam Evava Tab Evavagatsatvam Mama Tejo Amsha Sambhavam. Right? That means Krishna himself says, whatever is wonderful in this material world, we should understand that it is just simply a spark of Lord Krishna's splendor. Everything derives its beauty from the source of all beauty, who is Lord Sri Krishna himself, right? And even in the first canto of Bhagavatam, we will study later on in the third or the fourth chapters. Vyasadeva is coming and asking Brahmaji, oh Brahma, it looks like you are the supreme personality of Godhead, because you are creating this entire material manifestation, and according to your appearance, right, according to your days and nights, this material world calculation also works, right? 1 day of Brahma, 1 night of Brahma, 100 years of Brahma, like that, right? But Brahma tells, Brahma tells Vyasadeva that no, I am not the supreme personality of Godhead. I act under the control. Maya adikshena prakriti suyatesa characharam. Krishna himself tells in Bhagavad Gita, right? Everything happens under my supervision, and that's what Brahma also tells Vyasadeva, that although I may be appearing to be doing all these things, but yet I am under the control and I work under the instructions of the supreme personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna. So in this way, Krishna is the source of everything, right? And Krishna's direction, under Krishna's direction only, all of the gods, right? God means Prabhupada says controller, but Bhagavan means controller of all the controllers, right? So Indra, Chandra, Varuni, Agni, Brahma, Shiva, all of them can be considered as controllers. They definitely control because they are the overseers of that particular area. But Krishna is the complete overseer, or is the supreme most overseer of all the activities that take place not only in the material world but also in the spiritual world. And hence he is aham sarvasya prabho matta sarvam pravartate. Everything emanates from him, and he is the source of all sources. He is the cause of all causes. All right, let's move ahead. Okay, Shubhangi Keshi Mataji, go ahead.
Krishna Mataji, Dhanvat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
In the modern age, Mataji?
Yes.
In the modern age, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu preached the Srimad Bhagavatam by practical demonstration. It is easier to penetrate into the topic of the Srimad Bhagavatam through the medium of Sri Chaitanya's causeless mercy. Therefore, a short sketch of his life and prospects is interested herein to help the reader understand the real merit of Srimad Bhagavatam. It is imperative that one learn the Srimad Bhagavatam from the person Bhagavatam. The person Bhagavatam is one whose very life is Srimad Bhagavatam in practice. Since Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the absolute personality of Godhead, he is both Bhagavan and Bhagavatam in person and in sound. Therefore, his process of approaching the Srimad Bhagavatam is practical for all people of the world. It was his wish that the Srimad Bhagavatam be preached in every nook and corner of the world by those who happen to take their birth in India. The Srimad Bhagavatam is the science of Krishna, the absolute personality of Godhead, of whom we have preliminarily information from the text of the Bhagavad Gita. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said that anyone, regardless of what he is, who is well deserved in the science of Krishna, Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, can become an authorized preacher or precipitator in the science of Krishna. There is a need for the science of Krishna in human society for the good of all suffering humanity of the world, and we simply request the leaders of all nations to pick up this science of Krishna for their own good, for the good of society, and for the good of all the world's people. A short sketch of the life of the teaching of Lord Chaitanya, the preacher of Srimad Bhagavatam. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the great apostle of love of God and the father of the what is that, Mathavi? Congregational chanting of holy name of the Lord, advanced himself at Sridham Mayapur, a quarter in the city of Navadvip in Bengal, on the Falguni Purnima evening in the year 1407, Shakvada, corresponding of February 1486 by the Christian calendar. His father, Sri Jagannath Mishra, a learned Brahmin from the district of Sylhet, come to Navadvip as a student because at that time Navadvip was considered to be the center of education and culture. He domiciled on the bank of the Gangas after marrying Srimati Sachi Devi, a daughter of Srila Nilambar Chakravarti, the great learned scholar of Navadvip. Jagannath Mishra had a number of daughters by his wife Srimati Sachi Devi, and most of them expired at an early age. Two surviving sons, Sri Vishwarup and Vishambhar, become at last the object of their parental affection. The 10th and youngest son, who was named Vishambhar, later became known as Nimai Pandit. Then, after accepting the renounced order of life, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu exhibited his transcendental activities for 48 years and have been disappeared from this mortal world in the year 1455. Shakabada at Puri. For his first 24 years, he remained at Navadip as a student and householder. His first wife was Srimati Lakshmi Priya, who died at an early age when the Lord was away from home. When he returned from East Bengal, he was requested by his mother to accept a second wife, and he agreed. His second wife was Srimati Vishnu Priya Devi, who bore the separation of the Lord throughout her life because the Lord took the order of sannyas at the age of 24 when Srimati Vishnupriya was barely 16 years old. After taking sannyas, the Lord made his headquarters at Jagannath Puri due to the request of his mother, Srimati Sachi Devi. The Lord remained for 24 years at Puri. For 6 years of this life, he traveled continuously all over the world and especially throughout southern India, preaching the Srimad Bhagavatam. Lord Chaitanya not only preached the Srimad Bhagavatam but propagated the teaching of the Bhagavad Gita as well in the most practical way. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Shri Krishna is depicted as the absolute personality of Godhead. And his last teaching is that great book of transcendental knowledge instruct that one should give up all the modes of religious activities and accept him, Lord Shri Krishna, as the only worshipable Lord. The Lord then assured that all his devotees would be protected from all sort of sinful acts and that for them there would be no cause of anxiety.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Hare
Krishna,
Bol.
thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So, in this case, we see how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's life and pastimes are being described by Srila Prabhupada as we studied the introduction to Srimad Bhagavatam, right? Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Matamidam Tatra Dharanapara. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told us three important things that we should know as a Gaudiya Vaishnava, as a practitioner of Krishna consciousness. What is that? Whom do we have to worship? So, Aradhya Bhagavan, Prajesha Tanaya Saddhama Vrindavanam. Right? We are worshippers of that Vrindavan Krishna. Right? Ramya Kachit Upasana Vrajavadu Vargena Va Kalpita. That means, in what mood should we worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna? Right? We have to worship Lord Shri Krishna in the mood of the gopis of Vrindavan Dham. Right? Aradhya Bhagavan Rajesha Tanaya Saddhama Vrindavanam. Ramya Kachit Upasana means worship. Like whom we have to worship? Vrajavadu. Vargena Va Kalpita. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also told how can we understand this Krishna Prema, right? By studying Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanam Amalam Prema Pumarto Mahan. Right? By simply studying Srimad Bhagavatam, the Prema or the love of Godhead will automatically manifest in our heart. Right? Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanam Amalam Prema Pumarto Mahan. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or Matamidam Tatra Dharanapara. So this is the opinion of Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Right? So we were discussing the other day that we are not interested in anybody else's opinion other than Lord Krishna's opinion. So here we are saying Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's these three opinions are very important. Why? Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Krishna are non-different. Right? Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nahi Anya. Right? Radha Krishna and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are non-different. Right? Krishna himself appeared. Radha Bhava Duti Suvalitam Naumi Krishna Swarupam. Right? Shri Radhaya Pranay Mahima Kidrisho Vamadiyah. Saukyam Chasi Maganmavitam Kidritam Veti Lobat Tad Bhavatya Samajani Shachikarva Sindhu Harindu. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, like Prabhupada mentions here, in the womb of Mother Shachi Devi, father of Jagannath Mishra. Right? Shri Radhar Bhavita. Right? That means what? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself who's appeared in the mood of Srimati Radharani. Right? Why has she appeared in the mood of Srimati Radharani? To understand the glory of Srimati Radharani's love. Radhar Bhav Duti Suvalitam Naumi Krishna Swarupam. To understand the glory of Radharani's love. To understand his own qualities by which Srimati Radharani is so much attracted towards him. And to understand the glory of Radharani's devotional service and the love of Srimati Radharani. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna himself appeared in the mood of his own pure devotee. Right? So these three important reasons are said to be the internal reasons why Krishna himself appeared as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Radhar Bhava Duti Suvalitam Naumi Krishna Swa Rupam. Krishna came in his own form, but he came in the mood of Srimati Radharani. He took the complexion of Srimati Radharani. So in this way, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who gives knowledge, remembrance, and forgetfulness to others, is not able to understand certain things. Right? These three things. And because of that, he is appearing, taking the mood and complexion of Srimati Radharani as Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. Right? That's why you also sing Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yoga Sikshartamekah Purusha Purana Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shariradhari Kripam Buddhiryastvamaham Prapadye. That means Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yoga, right? Vairagya. He's teaching us the art of renunciation. Nija Bhakti Yoga. He's teaching us how to perform Bhakti Yoga with the right consciousness. Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yoga Sikshartamekah Purusha Purana. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the oldest of the everyone because he only existed before this material world became manifested, isn't it? What is that? Sikshartamekah. He has come here simply to teach us this process of devotional service. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shariradhari. So Krishna has appeared and taken this form of Shri Krishna Chaitanya Kripa Ambudir Yastamaham Prapadya. Offer my respectful obeisances unto Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is a Kripa Ambudir, who is an ocean of mercy. So in this way, the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is being glorified as the ocean of mercy. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaur Dvishe Namaha. Namo Mahavadanyaya. He is the ocean of mercy. He is the supreme most compassionate person. Krishna Prema Pradayate. Why? Because he is giving out Krishna Prema, Krishna Nama very easily and freely. Right? Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne. Right? His name is Krishna. His name is Krishna Chaitanya. His name is Gaura because his body is in the golden complexion, just like Srimati Radharani. He is also called Gaura or Gauranga. Gaura Anga. Right? Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Dvishe Namaha. And he is not different from that Krishna himself. So like that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is described by choicest of verses in various scriptures, also indicating that he is Krishna himself who has appeared in the mode of Srimati Radharani. All right. Shubhangi Keshi Mataji, you already read. Okay, let's ask Karpagavali Mataji. Please read. Unfortunately.
Thank you, Mataji. Am I audible, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji. Go ahead.
Am I audible, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji, you're audible. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mataji. Unfortunately, despite Lord Krishna's direct order and the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita, less intelligent person misunderstand him to be nothing but a great historical personality, and thus they cannot accept him as the original personality of Godhead. Such men with poor fund of knowledge are misled by many non-devotees. Thus the teachings of Bhagavad Gita were misinterpreted even by great scholars. After the disappearance of Lord Sri Krishna, there were hundreds of commentaries on Bhagavad Gita by many erudite scholars, and almost every one of them was motivated by self-interest. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the self-same Lord Krishna, Sri Krishna. This time, however, he appeared as a great devotee of the Lord in order to preach to the people in general as well as to religionists and philosophers about the transcendental position of Sri Krishna, the premier Lord and the cause of all causes. The essence of his preaching is that Lord Sri Krishna, who appeared at Brajamuni Vrindavana, is as the son of the king of Braja, Nanda Maharaja, is the supreme personality of Godhead and is therefore worshipable by all. Vrindavana Dhamma is not different from the Lord because the name, fame, form, and the place where the Lord manifests himself are all identical with the Lord as absolute knowledge. Therefore, Vrindavana Dhamma is as worshipable as the Lord. The highest form as the transcendental worship of the Lord was exhibited by the damsels of Vrijabhumi in the form of pure affection for the Lord, and Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recommends this process as the most excellent mode of worship. He accepts the Srimad Bhagavata Purana as the spotless literature for understanding the Lord, and he preaches that the ultimate goal of life for all human beings is to attain the stage of prema or love of God. Many devotees of Lord Chaitanya, like Sri Vrindavana Dasa Thakura, Sri Lochana Dasa Thakura, Sri Krishnadasa Kaviraja Goswami, Sri Kavi Karnapura, Sri
Prabodhananda Saraswati,
Prabodhananda Saraswati, Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanadana Goswami, Sri Raghunatha Bhatta Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, Sri Gopal Bhatta Goswami, Sri Raghunatha Dasa Goswami, and in his later age, within 200 years of Sri Viswanatha Chakravarti, Sri Baldeva Vidya Bhushana, Sri Syamananda Goswami, Sri Narottama Dasa Thakura, Sri Bhakti Vinoda Thakura, and at last Sri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura, our spiritual master, and many other great renowned scholars and devotees of the Lord have prepared voluminous books and literatures on the life and precepts of the Lord. Such literatures are all based on the Sastras like the Vedas, Puranas, Upanishads, Ramayana, Bhagavad and other histories and authentic literatures approved by the recognized acharyas. They are unique in composition and unrevealed in presentation, and they are full of transcendental knowledge. Unfortunately, the people of the world are still ignorant of them. But when these literatures, which are mostly in Sanskrit and Bengali, come to the light of the world, when they are presented before thinking people, then India's glory and the message of love will overflood this moribund world, which is mainly searching after peace and prosperity by various illusory methods not approved by the acharyas in the chain of disciplic succession. The readers of this small description in life and precepts of Lord Chaitanya will profit much to go through the books of Sri Vrindavanadasa Thakura, Sri Chaitanya Bhagavata, and Sri Krishnadasa Kaviraja Goswami, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. The early life of the Lord is most fantastically expressed by the author of Chaitanya Bhagavata. As far as the teachings are concerned, they are most vividly explained in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Now they are available in the English-speaking public in our teachings of Lord Chaitanya. The Lord's
Hare Krishna.
early
Thank you,
life was
Mataji.
recorded. Thank you, Mother. Thank you, Mother.
Hare Krishna. So, Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur is called the Veda Vyas of Chaitanya Lila. That's why his book, which was originally called Chaitanya Mangal, became later known to be Chaitanya Bhagavat. Right? Because Vrindavan Das Thakur, who's the author of the Chaitanya Mangal, there was another book called Chaitanya Mangal, written by Lochan Das Thakur. So to avoid confusion, right, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Maharaj, he was also asked to write the Leelas of Chaitanya. And that is why he, in his very old age, he wrote this Chaitanya Charitamrita. But every time in every chapter, he glorifies Vrindavan Das Thakur as the Vyasadev of Chaitanya Leela, and he begs forgiveness for any mistakes, and he expresses his gratitude to Vrindavan Das Thakur so that he could also write something about Chaitanya Leela, right? And he mentions in the book itself, Chaitanya Charitamrita, so many times that devotees have to go back and read Chaitanya Bhagavat. Right? It's wonderful because generally when an author writes a book, what does he do? He wants all the readers to read only his book. Right? When there is another book of the same title, then he becomes insecure. Oh, what will happen to my book? Everybody will, if they read their book, what will happen to my book? Right? That's what we feel in our conditioned state. But this Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Maharaj, he did not want to write Chaitanya about the Chaitanya Leela. But he was asked by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the devotees to write the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he was especially asked to elaborate on the teachings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Right? If we see Chaitanya Bhagavat, it elaborates by Vrindavan Das Thakur, it elaborates on the early pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, like baby Nimai, how thieves come to steal the ornaments on the body of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as baby Nimai, how they roam around, and how in one instance there was a snake there, and baby Nimai picked up that snake, and he was trying to do the he did the pastime, not trying. He is the Lord, he is the Supreme Lord himself. So he did the pastime of, Lord Vishnu lying down on the Garbhodaka ocean on the Anantashesh. So like this, all of these small, very, very beautiful, like how baby Nima used to always cry. And then what happens? All of the ladies of the neighborhood, they would join together. And then they will all chant, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And when such singing is going on by the ladies, then automatically Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as baby Nimai, would stop crying. And also on one instance where baby Nimai actually told that there is this house of Hiranya Pandit, the brothers Hiranya Pandit and Jagadisha Pandit. Right, in their house there is very nice Ekadashi offering to their lordships, and I want to taste that. So, the Jagannath Mishra and Chachi Mata are wondering, how come this little boy knows of the existence of somebody like Hiranya Pandit or Jagadisha Pandit, and how does he know where they stay? How does he know what is being offered to their lordships there in their home? Right, like Jagannath Mishra and Shachi Mata were a little bewildered, but to find out the truth, they actually take Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, baby Nimai, and they go there. And then what happens? Lo and behold, yes, it is the day of Ekadashi. And what happened? They've offered nice Ekadashi Boga to their lordships. And in this way, they also get the prasadam. Right? So in this way, all of these childhood pastimes of baby Nimai are elaborated by Vrindavan Das Thakur in Chaitanya Bhagavat, which our Chaitanya Charitamrita author, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he says that this Vrindavan Das Thakur is the Veda Vyas of Chaitanya Leela, just like Vyasadev. Right? Vyasadeva is the literary incarnation of Krishna. He only wrote, rather he narrated, and Ganpati, like Lord Ganesha, wrote the Bhagavatam. Similarly, the Vyasadeva for Chaitanya Leela is Vrindavan Das Thakur. Like that, there is in every chapter, as the chapter begins, as the chapter ends, there is so much glorification of Vrindavan Das Thakur, his book, and he actually asks all the readers to read the book of Chaitanya Bhagavat, right, written by Vrindavan Das Thakur. Right. So in this way, different acharyas have written books glorifying the different leelas of the different aspects of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Like Chaitanya Bhagavat relates about the early life of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as a small child, as Nimai Pandit, and then the teachings of Lord Chaitanya and the latter pastimes, the Shesha pastimes or the Antya Leela pastimes are very, very nicely described by Shri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Maharaj in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Right. So in this way, Prabhupada is mentioning here, there are several books that have been translated into English language with the synonyms, with the translation, and with the word-to-word meaning, right, which are called synonyms, and also the purport is given by Srila Prabhupada. Why? Because it enables us to understand what are the living dealings between Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his devotees. And this Chaitanya Charitamrita or the Chaitanya Bhagavat, they are supposed to be postgraduate study. Right now, what we're doing is, in fact, a graduation study. Right? Bhagavad Gita is said to be preliminary study. Bhagavatam is said to be the graduate study. And Srimad Bhagavatam is, Chaitanya Charitamrita is said to be the postgraduate study. Right? So, as we are studying this Srimad Bhagavatam, we should understand that Prabhupada has written all of these books, which we take as various levels. We have the Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav, Bhakti Sarvabhauma. Right, all of these things we have to slowly and gradually evolve our consciousness by studying these books in the order that is prescribed by our acharyas. By this, what happens? Shuddhikaran happens. Shravanadi, Shuddha Chitta Karaya Udaya. In this way, the dormant Krishna consciousness that is there in our hearts will bloom, and this love for Krishna will arise in our hearts. Right, and that is the motto, or that is the objective of our studying these scriptures. Right, all of these scriptures, all of the scriptural study should lead to our increased taste in chanting Hare Krishna. Like in the morning Brahma Murta program, we were discussing that all of these devotional services should actually result in our getting higher taste for chanting Hare Krishna. Why? Because chanting Hare Krishna is Yuga Dharma for this age of Kali. So all the devotional services, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Archanam, Mandaram, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam, all of this should actually result in our getting more taste in chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So in this way, while we are studying Srimad Bhagavatam or Chaitanya Charitamrita or Chaitanya Bhagavata, we should understand that what we are trying to understand is the message of the Lord himself. That means Janma Sarthakari Kara Paropakar. Become a devotee, practice Krishna consciousness, hear the pastimes of the Lord, and give this message to others according to your realization. So that's why Prabhupada also speaks about teachings of Lord Chaitanya, right? Chaitanya Charitamrita postgraduate study. But now we've already read teachings of Lord Chaitanya as part of our study forum itself, where we understand what are the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Sanatana Goswami, to Rupa Goswami, right? How did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was not pleased with Sanatana Goswami when he wore a very expensive blanket, right? All these things are necessary for us to understand how we can please the Supreme Personality of God. And what a better way to understand than the lives and interaction of loving reciprocation between the Lord himself and his devotees. And that high level is what is Chaitanya Charitamrita. All right, let's go ahead. Hema Mataji. Oh, okay. Four people had their hands up. So quickly, let's do one paragraph each, and then we'll end by 11:55. We'll start Harinam Sankirtan. All right, go ahead,
Hare
Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. The
Hare
Lord's
Krishna.
early life was recorded by one of his chief devotees and contemporaries, namely Srila Murari Gupta, medical practitioner of that time, and the latter part of the life of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was recorded by his private secretary Sri Damodar Goswami or Srila Swarupa Damodara, who was a constant
Companion.
companion of the Lord of Puri. These two devotees recorded practically all the incidents of the Lord's activities, and later on all the books dealing with the Lord which are above mentioned were composed on the basis of
Kadachas.
Kadachas by Srila Damodar Goswami and Murari Gupta. So the Lord adverted himself on the Phalguni
Falguni Purnima.
Purnima evening of 1407 Sakabodha, and it was by the will of the Lord that there was a lunar eclipse on the evening during the hours of eclipse. It was the custom of the Hindu public to take bath in the Ganges or any other sacred river and chant the Vedic mantras for the purification. When Lord Chaitanya was born during the lunar eclipse, all India was roaring with the holy sound of Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. These 16 names of the Lord are mentioned in many Puranas and Upanishads, and they are described as the Taraka Brahma Nama of this
Taraka Brahma Nama.
Taraka Brahmanama of this age. It is recommended in the Shastras that offenseless chanting of these holy names of the Lord can deliver a fallen soul from material bondage. There are innumerable names of the Lord by both in India and outside, and all that them are equally good because of them indicate the supreme personality of Godhead. But because these 16 are specially recommended for us, age people should take advantage of them and follow the path of the great acharyas who attained success by practicing the rules of the Shastras revealed scriptures.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you, Mataji.
Krishna
Very nice.
Mata. Thank you,
Hari
Mata.
bol. So,
Hare
iti shodashakam nam kali kalmashanashanam. Iti shodashakam nam. The 16 nama mantra. This is not just an ordinary mantra. This is called nama mantra. Why? Because in this mantra there are no om, klim, nothing. What is there in the mantra? The names only are there. Hara, Krishna and Rama. Right? The names of Srimati Radharani, the names of Lord Ram or Radha Raman, and the names of Krishna. Right? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Iti shodachakam nam kali kalmashanashanam nato paratropaya sarva vedeshu drishyate. Right? It is mentioned in all the Vedic scriptures that chanting of the 16 names, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare will not only deliver us from material bondage, but will actually take us to the point of Krishna Prema. That is why they are called as the Taraka Brahma Nama, right? Mantra, but it is full of names, the names of the Supreme Personality of Godhead that can take us, that can liberate us out of this material world and take us back home, back to Goloka Vrindavan Dham, so that we can be eternally in the service of the Supreme Lord in his own Dham, like that. Okay, let's move forward. Who else are there? Who else have raised their hands? Okay. Okay, one paragraph each. Anusha Mataji, go ahead. Nisha
Hare
Mataji,
Krishna.
you want to read? You can raise your hand. Yes, go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranams. Thank you so much. The simultaneous occurrences of Lord's appearance and the lunar eclipse indicates the distinctive mission of the Lord. This mission was to preach the importance of chanting the holy names of the Lord in this age of Kali or quarrel. In this present age, quarrels take place even over trifles, and therefore the Shastras have recommended for this age a common platform for realization, namely chanting the holy names of the Lord. People can hold meetings to glorify the Lord in their respective languages and with melodious songs. And if such performances are executed in an offenseless manner, it is certain that the participants will gradually attain spiritual perfection without having to undergo more rigorous methods. At such meetings, everyone, the learned and the foolish, the rich and the poor, the Hindus and the Muslims, the Englishmen and the Indians, and the Chandalas and the Brahmanas can all hear the transcendental sounds and thus cleanse the dust of material association from the mirror of the heart. To confirm the Lord's mission, all the people of the world will accept the holy name of the Lord as the common platform for the universal religion of mankind. In other words, the advent of the holy name took place along with the advent of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So the Lord appeared to propagate the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Of course, we saw the three important reasons, internal reasons for the appearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But now what we are seeing is the reason why the Lord appeared in an external reason, right? What are the three external reasons also? One is Advaita Acharya was calling the Supreme Lord. Only the Lord, only if you come personally, can this people of the age of Kali can be delivered. And he actually worshipped the Shaligram Shila with the Ganges water and Tulasi, right? Another reason is he had to propagate the Yuga Dharma for this age of Kali, which is the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And why did he appear at the lunar eclipse time? Because the lunar eclipse time is supposed to be so inauspicious, right? The most auspicious thing that can be done in the most inauspicious time also can give us the same benefit, right? Like yesterday or somewhere we were reading, in the Ekadashi Mahatmya we were reading how the Shukla Paksha and Krishna Paksha of Ekadashi both yield the same benefit. Yeah, just like Krishna was himself explained to Yudhishthira Maharaj, right? That just like the appearance of the sun in any season, right, will give us the light. So similarly, the observance of Ekadashi, whether in Shukla Paksha or in Krishna Paksha, whether in the waxing moon or the waning moon, will give us the benefit. So similarly, the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra will give benefit irrespective of whether it is chanted by a person who is a Hindu or a Muslim or a Sikh or a Christian, doesn't matter. That is why this chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra is not a religion mantra. It is Nama Mantra. It is for everybody. It is for anybody who has a tongue and can vibrate his or her tongue. Right? It is for everybody who can vibrate their tongue. If they simply vibrate their tongue and have only Krishna Prasadam, and what vibration they have to do? Chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Then they can immediately get liberated. Not only get liberated, but even in the material world, there will be universal religion. That means what? There will be universal brotherhood. There will be peace in this world. And ultimately, there will be bliss by the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Okay, let's quickly move forward. We have three more devotees who are eager to read. Okay, and then we will conclude. Okay. Shobha Mataji, go ahead. When the Lord was in the lap of his mother.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Mataji, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. When the Lord was on the lap of his mother, he would at once stop crying as soon as the ladies surrounding him chanted the holy names and clapped their hands. This peculiar incident was observed by the neighbors with awe and veneration. Sometimes the young girls took pleasure in making the Lord cry and then stopping him by chanting the holy name. So from his very childhood, the Lord began to preach the importance of the holy name. In his early age, Lord Sri Chaitanya was known as Nimai. This name was given by his beloved mother because the Lord took his birth beneath a nimba tree in the courtyard of his paternal house. Haribol. Thank you,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. All right. Let's ask Sindhu Mataji. Please read. When the Lord was offered.
Excuse me, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Yes.
Hare Krishna. From which paragraph, Mataji?
When the Lord was offered solid food
When
at the
the-
age of 6 months.
Okay. Haribol, pranam Mataji. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. When the Lord was offered solid food at the age of 6 months in the Anna Prasana ceremony, the Lord indicated his future tendencies of the child. The Lord was offered on one side coins and on the other side the Srimad Bhagavatam.
No,
The
no, no,
Lord
no, no,
accept-
no. No, no. Oh, yeah, yeah. Correct, correct. At this time, it was customary. Yeah.
Okay. When the Lord was offered, I'll read from them. The Lord was offered
Yeah, yeah.
solid food at the age of 6 months in the Annaprasana ceremony. The Lord indicated his future activities. At this time, it was customary to offer the child both coins and books in order to get some indication of the future tendencies of the child. The Lord was offered on one side coins and on the other side the Srimad Bhagavatam. The Lord accepted the Bhagavatam instead of the coins. When he was a
Haribol.
mere
Thank you,
baby,
thank you, thank you, Mataji.
Thank
Let's ask Nisha Mataji. Go ahead. When he was a mere baby crawling in the yard.
When he was a mere baby, crawling in the yard, one day a snake appeared before him, and the Lord began to play with it. All the members of the house were struck with fear and away. But after a little while, the snake went away, and the baby was taken away by his mother. Once he was stolen by a thief who intended to steal his ornaments, but the Lord took a pleasure trip on the shoulder of the bewildered thief who was searching for a solitary place in order to rob the baby. It is so happened that the thief, wandering hither and thither, finally arrived just before the house of Jagannath Mishra, and being afraid of being caught, dropped the baby at once. Of course, the anxious parents and relatives were glad to see the lost child.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna,
So
Dandavat
these
Pranam.
are all. Thank you, Mataji. Dandat Pranam. So these are the very lovely, wonderful pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And why Prabhupada is mentioning this? Right? Prabhupada is mentioning this so that, we get interested, right? Generally, in a trailer, what do they show? They will show some moments of the movie which will attract the people to want to come and watch the movie. So like that, the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are so attractive, right? We can also see the jalak of how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes as baby Nimai has almost the same elements that Krishna also had, right? Krishna used to steal butter, and Krishna used to kill the demons. Krishna also had Krishna was also very naughty, right? We also see here that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself as baby Nimai was very naughty, right? He used to call people and ask them to do tarka or debate of the Sanskrit scriptures, and then he used to defeat them. And when then they accept defeat, what he will do? He will tell why you are only correct, I am only wrong. And then again they will get confused. Oh my God, what I said was correct or wrong? The Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as baby Nimai, we also see how he used to cry, and then everybody used to sing Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and then used to stop crying. And how this the thief, they in fact thieves come and steal his ornaments, and then how he dupes them, and then they bring him back to his own home. So like this, we see a lot of resemblance in the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Krishna himself, because you're one and the same person. So they have the same naughtiness, they have the same renunciation, they have the same beauty, they have the same attractiveness in their pastimes, right? So in this way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in this way, by narrating the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srila Prabhupada is actually drawing our interest as we are beginning the study of Srimad Bhagavatam. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Prabhupada is actually drawing our interest to study this pastime, and in this way develop an interest for the study of Srimad Bhagavatam, right? As Srimad Bhagavatam is like so many verses, so much of philosophy, right? So now Chaitanya Prabhupada is giving us, the wonderful stories like thing, right? That's why it is also said Mahabharat, Ramayana were all written for less intelligent people, because we like stories. When there is an essential principle that is taught through stories, very easy to understand. But when the philosophy is so deep, it gets very dry. Right. So sometimes Srimad Bhagavatam has got so much of, especially the fifth canto, it's going to talk about, the various oceans and the various, dynasties and all that. It'll go beyond, totally above our head, cannot understand anything. At that time, we realize the supremacy of the Lord, right? We are so insignificant, we can't understand anything. But then if we continue to read, then it will be interspersed with lovely pastimes, Prahlad Maharaj pastimes, Dhruv Maharaj pastimes. So, in between, it's all spurred with these pastimes, that we get some taste to continue with our study of Srimad Bhagavatam. So, Prabhupada is encouraging us that we should study the Srimad Bhagavatam, because ultimately, Prema Pumarto Mahan, we are going to develop love of Godhead, and that is the goal, right? So, in this way, Prabhupada is encouraging us to study Srimad Bhagavatam, and today is our second session of Srimad Bhagavatam study. I would urge all the devotees to please join us from Monday to Friday. Tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we will do Krishna book study, and next Monday we will continue with our introduction of Srimad Bhagavatam. And also we have Nisha Mataji, who is very kindly volunteered to narrate, or tell this verse 1.1.1, complicated verse. Mataji is confident. Mataji is confident of her abilities. So she is going to tell this verse by heart along with the translation. So she's got 1 week of preparation, and the lovely smile on Mataji's face, shows that she's going to do it as a devotional service, right? So we thank Mataji for her enthusiasm, and we want all the devotees to please join us 11 to 12, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We will do now Krishna book, and it is our desire to complete the Krishna book in this auspicious month of Kartik. Otherwise, we will complete it a little later. That's okay. But we will do it Monday to Friday, and Monday, Tuesday, we'll do Srimad Bhagavatam study. So please do join us and inspire us by volunteering to tell the shlokas, like Nisha Mataji has volunteered. So in this way, we inspire each other, memorize shlokas, do mananam, nididhyasanam, apply the principles of Bhagavatam in our life. In this way, inspire each other to become perfect and go back home, back to Godhead. So that is the purpose of this group. Today also, we are having 17 devotees. I don't know if it is the same 17. Yesterday also, we had 17 devotees. So 17 has become an auspicious number for us. So I would want to see the 17, all the devotees switching on your cameras every day, so that we inspire each other, and we want to study Bhagavatam, want to memorize the verses, we want to apply the principles of Bhagavatam in our life and be a source of inspiration for each other, right? So please do join us every day. Namah Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Devi Sesha Punyavadi Astatya Deshtotarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Gaudanitai Jai Jai Jagannath Jai Bolo Deva Jaya Subhadrama Jaya Sudarshana Jai Bala Gopal Jaya Radha Rasa Bihari Radhe Radhe Jayo Radha Sham Sundar Radhe Radhe Jayo Radha Vrindavan Chandra Radhe Radhe Jayo Radha Madhava Radhe Radhe Jayo Radha Vrindavan Nath Radhe Radhe Jayo Radhe 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 Shri Radhe Jaya Shad Goswami Jaya Guru Parampara Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Gurudeva Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol. जय 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 श्री राधे श्याम जय जय श्री वृंदावन धाम पावन राधे तेरो नाम पावन श्री वृंदावन धाम जय जय राधे जय जय श्याम जय जय श्री वृंदावन धाम पावन राधे तेरो नाम पावन श्री वृंदावन धाम जय प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल। श्री कलयुग पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन महायज्ञ की जय। जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद श्री गुरुदेव की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। Actually, I'm in my sister's place. They've invited Radha Vinod deities in their home. So today I had the fortune, by the grace of my sister, I had the opportunity to bathe and dress Shri Radha Vinod. I'll share their transcendental darshan in the group. And also I have to share our deities darshan also. Our Gaur Nitai, Jagannath Baldev Subhadramaya Sudarshan ji and Laddu Gopal and Shaligram Shila's darshan of Rama Ekadashi, Mangalarati Darshan in the Kartik month. Not shared at all. So, something or the other is happening. So today I'll share the darshan of all of our deities. So in this way, that is the goal of our life, right? That we get more and more opportunities to serve their lordships in the association of devotees. That is the goal of our life, right? And we all encourage each other that we study the scriptures, get the taste for doing devotional service, like Abhishek of the deities, bathing and dressing the deities, and all performing, Arati for the deities, preparing Boga for the deities, chanting Hare Krishna, which is very important. If we get taste for all this, then we know that we are advancing in Krishna consciousness. And studying Srimad Bhagavatam is one of the essential elements given by Rupa Goswami in the top 5 angas of bhakti, right? Nama Sankirtan, what is that? Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtan Bhagavata Shravana Mathura Vasa Shri Murtaya Shraddhaya Sevana. So one of the 5 angas is the regular study of Srimad Bhagavatam. And we are doing 5 days, right? First 2 days we are doing first canto, and the last 3 days we're doing Krishna book, which is summarized to the 10th canto. So please to join us from Monday to Friday. And of course, please to join us from 5 to 7:10 a.m. Right? I tell devotees, join for 1 or 2 rounds at least. Right? Even if you're part of other programs or whatever, join us and inspire us for 1 or 2 rounds. It takes about 7 to 14 minutes, right? So in this way, join us. And when you're reporting in the sadhana group, I know whether you're attending or not. I may not know on the day whether you're attending the Brahma Murta chanting session, but I will know from your reporting. So in this way, let's inspire each other, because we join in maximum numbers to do Brahma Murta chanting. It really inspires us, right? So this devotee is doing, this devotee is doing. Why am I sleeping, right? Let me also wake up like that. All right, devotees, thank you very much. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Srila Gurudev ki Jai, Anant Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Thank you very much, devotees. We'll meet tomorrow morning for our Brahma Murta chanting session, and then 11 o'clock for our Krishna book study session. Okay, let me see who are all devotees who are giving us darshan. Nisha Mataji, Harjit Mataji, and Namesh Prabhu. Srimati Shamapriya Mataji, Sridhar Prabhu. Sindhu Mataji is giving some nice darshan of some nature. I don't know where it is. Rajneesh Prabhu, Shubhangi Keshi Mataji, Karpakavali Mataji, Anusha Mataji, and Pranab Prabhu, Manimala Mataji, Sarva Gopeshwari Mataji, Upma Mataji, Nisha Mataji, and all the devotees who have joined in. Thank you very much. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Srila Gurudev ki Jai, Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Thank you very much, dear devotees. Meet you all tomorrow morning, 5 o'clock.